Mercury retrograde got your love life in a spin? Discover how the stars might be behind your romantic roller coaster.
I am Vaishali Khade, an engineer turned psychic. Watch, take notes, and learn so that you too can leverage the power of stars in your love life. Mercury retrograde and its effects. So, we are going to look at how Mercury retrograde impacts things in real life, or how it impacts things, how Mercury impacts things when it actually goes retrograde. So it goes retrograde around 3 weeks for about 3 to 4 times a year. And every time it goes retrograde in a different sign. And the impact is going to be a combination of the behavior of Mercury, as it's a combination of behavior of Mercury and the sign, but the sign is more of an influence on how the outcome is going to show up in real life. So for instance, I just did a video on Mercury retrograde in Aries, and I'll link that up here. And when Mercury goes retrograde in such a fierce sign, or Aries is also a fire sign, the effects are more fiery and you will feel them. And in this particular video, I showed you how there was an injury and there was bleeding, and essentially it was all related to communication. So technically, the sign in which Mercury goes retro is producing an impact or influencing the outcome, so to say, of what kind of results you're going to see. So we're going to look at the impact on relationships. In case we haven't met, my name is Vaishali Khade, and I am an engineer turned psychic. And most of the clients who come to me are looking at predictions related to their love life. So, as a planet, Mercury is a child and it also influences communication. So, if you combine these two aspects of Mercury together, it is childlike communication. So, what exactly does a child do? A child is going to play pranks. He or she may make mistakes, or he may just be kind of having fun. The child may just like to have fun, and essentially that's how you're going to see the effect of Mercury play out in real life, which is childlike pranks. And these could be very, very small things, but they can impact you in a very big manner. And this is an example of a client by the name of Kona. And I'm just going to use this client and share with you how some small things can lead to bigger consequences with Mercury going retrograde. I already mentioned the example of playing pranks. And essentially, a prank could be anything. It could be like slipping a wrong number. So instead of, let's say, the last two digits of your phone number are 1234, and maybe you mistype it as 2234 or 1334, something like that. But even if one digit is off, the other person is not going to be able to contact you. So this could be a prank played by Mercury. Another way to look at it is maybe you say the right number, but the other person has a lot of background noise and they don't hear the digit correctly, and essentially they would have like a wrong number in their database or wherever it is that they are noting the number down. Now, in case of online communication, for instance, if you have a website, then people couldn't buy in case there was mistaken link. So in this particular scenario, what happened is Kona had a website, and on that website, she was promoting something, and she had links for people to buy something. And those links were actually not working. She had made a mistake, and some of the links were not working. So essentially, the number of sales she got was a lot lower than what she would have gotten had the links been working properly. So how would this translate to romantic life? For instance, let's say that you are on a dating website, and for whatever reason the link to your profile is not working, or maybe there's a mistake in your email, maybe there's one alphabet that is off, or maybe there's a mistake in your phone number, And essentially, the people who would have loved to contact you, essentially, they are not able to get in touch with you. So think of it as a break in communication because of a small mistake. That's like a prank. And that's essentially what it boils down to, that there is like a very, very small mistake. It's very tiny, but it is big enough that it is going to cause a disconnect. In this particular case, people couldn't buy. In case of the example of the dating site, people could not connect with you. So technically, there is a disconnect in terms of communication. And what happens is the results are not as expected. So in case of Kona's website, people couldn't really buy, so the number of sales she got was a lot lower than what she would have gotten had she had the correct links. And then in case of her profile on a dating site, the number of invites that she would have gotten, they would have been a lot more because people didn't have the right email or the right phone number to connect with her. She didn't really get as many contacts or as many invites as she was expecting. So as you can see, the result is not going to be as expected or as you want or as you desire whenever Mercury goes retrograde. So that is how technically it is going to impact you. And most of the times it is advised to kind of not start a new contract for the same reason, because if you do start one, then essentially there would be something in it which is missing and it would need to be redone. So same case in the case of a relationship, it's going to play out in a very interesting manner. And I have a couple of videos of a relationship that started during Mercury retrograde and how it played out, and I can link those here as well. So hopefully this can kind of give you a brief idea of how Mercury retrograde can impact whatever the current situation in your life is. So now here's the homework or an exercise for you, which is if you find a past retrograde period and find out what kind of experiences or impact you've had. Typically, you would at least be able to pick out one event or one situation or one kind of a circumstance that plays out, which shows the behavior of Mercury retrograde. So I would encourage you to pick one retro period and see what happened. And then if you can't find anything in that one, then you can go to a previous one or a previous one. But typically, at least if you trace back 3 retro periods, then you should at least be able to find a couple of instances where you would see the effect of Mercury playing some sort of a prank or a mischief or something which demonstrates that it is actually retro. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them in the chat, and I'll make some of my future videos based on your questions or comments. And I do have a freebie called Cosmic Secrets, which essentially shows you the 5 elements that you would require in order to move forward. If you are not in a relationship and if you are interested to be in one, then what are the 5 elements that are required? Those secrets are captured in this freebie, and you can work on it. There's a small assignment which takes about 5 minutes a day. You can work on it 5 minutes a day for 5 days and see what kind of progress you make. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.
So you're a single woman, not getting nearly as many quality dates as you'd like, and you just can't figure out why, no matter how hard you try. Well, let me show you why. You're not leveraging the power of the stars. Stars were used for navigation in ancient times, and you too can use these stars as a GPS for you to guide you to move forward in your love life. I'm Vaishali Nikhade, an engineer turned psychic, and I would like to introduce you to the 5 elements of cosmic secrets that influence your search. I have a free guide for you called Cosmic Secrets, and in this free guide, I share each of the 5 elements that can help you fast track your search. You can work on one element per day and get to know how the stars can give you a jump start. When you're done, you can message me via email
to take advantage of a special opportunity I may have for you to continue to get guidance from the stars. So click the link below and get started knowing the details of the cosmic secrets that can change your life.